Saturday morning. And if you're watching this in the future when it's not Saturday, just know it's a fabulous morning right now, no matter where you are in time and space. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Because when we talk about time, I'm going to paraphrase one of my mentors, Bill Riedler. He said, the way we speak about time, the way we, he said this, he goes, we all get the same amount of time. It's the fairest thing on this planet is time. The fairest thing. Because it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter. It's just everyone has 24 hours in a day, period. End of story. And of that time, we're awake on average, if you have a healthy sleeping schedule, which is if you're wanting to ground the Course in Miracles, if you're wanting your life to change, then you're going to have to understand that your body is the only part of your Trinity that is in the now moment. And what's called epiphanies, radical self-acceptance, emanating your unique who you really are, not this made up illusion that you've made in order to fit in. But if you're not fitting in, if you're not subconsciously motivated, to fit in, who are you? What really brings you satisfaction and delight, right? So understanding that most of your mental time is disconnected when you're awake, is disconnected from your physical intelligence. And what's running your movements, your motion. Like when you said, I know better, but I can't do better. That's because the subconscious is controlling what you're doing. I don't care how smart you are. If you don't have a daily practice of at least 20 minutes of your time aligning your mental intelligence and your emotional intelligence with where your body is in space and time, then you are doomed. Totally friggin' doomed to repeat the cycle again. Now it's all right, because eventually you get tired of the fight. Eventually, I hope for you is today. Like, I hope your eventually happens right this moment, and you have a holy instant of this rush of your Holy Spirit, just like kind of coursing through your brain for just a millisecond, in order to open up the possibility that you could be doing something else with your imagination during your day, your time. Now, this quote by Edward E. Close was made around the turn of early 1900s, okay? And I've done research on him to try to really get where he was in time when he said this quote, I have neither the time nor the patience to wait. You see, these hallucinations have you in a stalling pattern. Have you, if you keep running around in a circle, are you really on your life's journey? If you're repeating the same cycle again, which you will know it, because you're thinking, oh, I'm doing it again. Okay? You go, I'm I'm doing it again. Like, you have those moments. There's so many country songs written about it, crawling out of beds I shouldn't be in. But there is subconsciously something motivating you that isn't in alignment with your holiness. The hallucination is that you've got to figure it out and that you can figure it out. And you're alone. And nobody loves you. You're not attractive. You don't have enough. Like, do you have time for those thoughts anymore? Do you have patience for those thoughts anymore? I hope not. I hope not. Like today, I hope you go, I am joining that. I don't. Because you got to see the reason I wanted to go back and look, like where was he in time and space? Because right now, you can find in the media people that have experienced miraculous things in their lives when they don't have the time nor the patience for what's on the media that keeps scaring them, that's on the media that keeps them stuck in this general hypnosis of wasting time and letting someone else do your thinking and your emoting and your feeling for you. You go to a movie theater to get afraid. Well, you're giving them your emotions. You're giving them your emotional rehearsal. You say, hey, I'm not going to take control of my emotional imagining. Here, you take it. Please. I think, look, I love, and also the review we're doing, remember, was when I had my guest David Traub on, and I love a holy man's perspective. And when I'm talking about a holy man's perspective, David's had lots of practice of seeing from different perspectives, not being connected in his first initial response, and being willing to be wrong for the benefit of others, right? Like, that's a holy man. A holy man is, I love listening to lots of holy men. I love their perspectives because they're looking at themselves as whole. They don't look at themselves and condemn themselves. They look at themselves as holy and speak from that place. Even if other people are like, no, like he knows he's the disruption in the room. Oh, a little correction. It's Hannah is the name of the comedian. Her Netflix special is named Nanette. Okay, that was from yesterday. Anyway, so, David's always had this ability to not respond the way I did. If someone made a grimace with their face, my automatic response went to, I need to make them happy. When I taught with David, I began to observe how when someone grimaced, he actually was curious and went in and asked another question. Like, he leaned in to the grimace. Because if he was like this, he didn't have time nor patience for this emotional game. This emotional game that this person is in, they're in an illusion. And he went in, boom, like a surgeon. I'd watch him do it time and time again. Like where I was scared to tread, David ran in. And that's kind of like this feeling I have here. And that's the type of determination that is required that on yourself, on your beautiful self. Do you have the time or even the patience anymore to speak ugly words about yourself, let alone anyone else? And again, back to this. He says, I have not the time nor the patience to wait for media and mainstream science to catch up. Well, this is the part. that I get real excited about. Because mainstream science has caught up. Like you're going to see as we go, Monday, Beth the Favorite is going to be on talking about her experience with the Course in Miracles. And this is the one when we just like really get that the universe, us, our stories, our problems are nothing but a puff of smoke. It's literally just a friggin' puff of smoke that we've given all this angst, emotion to. So science has caught up. Or let's just say, what used to be extremely mysterious and led itself to hurt and persecute thousands of people over the centuries is that this unseen world has substance. And you see, some beautiful people used to could see this unseen world before a microscope. And they were called witches, and they were called evil, and they were called crazy. And now, mainstream science has caught up. This invisible world is as solid as anything else because it's all a puff of smoke. And what's beautiful is when you understand and you take responsibility for singing that song, Holy, 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 and doing the meditation, you're going to see that you bless. You're going to start noticing, like today's thing, after saying, Holy, 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 and doing that song and that chant, and then, and put in your imagination, right? Then I want you to notice how many smiles you see today. I want you to get these 5 lessons in this review. Like, this is what happens. Your holiness envelopes or, begins to cover everything you see. Your holiness blesses the world. Like you're going to see people smiling. You're going to hear birds chirping. You're going to bring your senses to how you're connected to a blessed world. And then you add more energy to it, which uplifts everyone. You can see it under a microscope now, or a special kind of microscope. How it happens. They can start measuring all this stuff. I love it. There is nothing your holiness cannot do. Your holiness is your salvation. Nobody else. Your ability to see that you're loving then allows you to see that everyone else is loving. When we talk about forgiveness, I've had a really big in 2018, a really, really, really big disagreement with people I love very, 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 very much. And we haven't spoken in years, and we have vowed never, ever to speak again. And what I realize in going through the holiness of me, I am kind of wiggling out of this very tight suit of into freedom. And so it was like this necessary evolution of my thinking. And I wouldn't have done it if I didn't love them so very much. You see, so whenever you think about betrayal, I want you to see it this way so you can bless it. You can kind of like get yourself out of that thing that you're bad or they're bad. Because you see, the thing I always knew, always felt, even though my automatic nervous system was just like slamming the gates and slamming the gates, I knew from the bottom of my heart that I was getting stronger. And I really knew it was one of the hardest things we ever had to do, was to separate. But I also knew that in the separation that there would be even a bigger aha moment somewhere. But no longer do I have the time or the patience to see people that I know I love and I know love me as harmful. I don't have the patience to even imagine that there's a harmful world out there, because I got to tell you, I've been walking around, pretty much for the last, people say there's all this violence. I haven't seen it, and I'm not saying that I want to see it. I'm saying I want us to stop. I want us to not have the time nor the patience any longer to criticize ourselves. Let's begin there. And let's see the evolution of inner confidence, inner peace, inner compassion, inner love, inner generosity. Oh, you have the whole world at your fingertips, if you develop the eyes to see. And the Course in Miracles gives you the words, the language, in order to develop a new bridge to a very old, ancient, eternal well of holiness. It's your Holy Spirit. And you're born to shine. And today is the day you stop wasting your time on limited thinking about yourself. So do your homework. If you want a special Science and Soul of Your Words Destiny session, then schedule a session with me. I do an enchanted map reading to see where you are in time and space. And then we go even deeper by looking at some of your early memories, when a lot of these limiting beliefs were initially formed and you've been emotionally rehearsing. Men are, women are, I am, so therefore I must. Aren't you tired of that? Let's fill in the blanks with some empowering words. Men are wonderful. Women are generous. I am spectacular. Therefore I must shine my light. Mwah. Much love, y'all. Have a beautiful day.